Assalamualaikum everyone. How are you all? Hope you all are doing well. In my previous videos, I have shared about GK scholarship details. What are the details? What are the forms to be prepared? What are the things to do before applying? Tips and tricks to write your personal statement and SOP and so on. I have shared 3 videos on this. So if you haven't watched those videos, please do watch them after watching this video. And yeah, obviously the 2025 Global Career Scholarship Program application form and other details guidelines have already announced. So 2 days before, so I'm making the video. I got so many questions on Didi, please make a video on how to fill application form and how to fill the GPA sections, how to fill this thing. So for all of them, I'm just making a video. I know most of the GK's other scholars have already made a video, but I want to make this video and I want to share my experience and my opinion on how I filled my application form and passed the GK scholarship. So yeah, um, if you haven't downloaded the 2025 GK's scholarship application form, you can download them on website, Study in Korea website. Let me show it. Okay, if you go to Study in Korea website, scroll down under GKS, the notice section, you'll be find 2025 application guidelines for global Korea scholarship. Click that. Here you have application guidelines, application form, university informations, all this. You can just download them. I've already downloaded them, so I'll be showing today how to fill the GK scholarship form. In my next video, I'll be sharing what are the guidelines, what are the new changes have made. Even in application form also a slight different changes have made. I will tell you guys. So first, let's start how to fill the application form. So the first and foremost is like you have to check these boxes. If you're applying for embassy track, check this box. If you're applying for university track, check this box. So let's say today we are going to fill the university track form. So if you are the one who is going to apply for the embassy track, just take this, okay? And here, name of the institution receiving application. This is the most like repeatedly asked question from past 2 years. For the university track, it's really easy to fill this name. If you're applying for Kyongsang University, Seoul National University, whatever the university name, you can just type it here, this name. But if you're applying for the embassy track, you just don't worry, you just have to write Republic of Korea, Korean Embassy, India. If you're from India, if you're from Philippines, if you're from this, so just type that Republic of Korean Embassy, and just from this, just Republic of Korea. Even some of them previous scholars said if you leave it also, it's not like, it's fine, but I would suggest don't leave it blank. Just type here whatever it is. If you're applying for embassy, just type Republic of Korea. Republic of Korean Embassy, or just the university name you are going to apply for. If you are applying for university track, just type the university name. I will typing my name, university, Kyongsang University. Okay, whatever the name is. Yeah, of course, when you fill the application form, you will be having this. You just have to, like, make some adjustments. So if you are applying for embassy track, check the embassy track and write the Republic of Korean Embassy, from India, whatever it is. If you are applying for a university track, just type the university name, Kyongsang University, Seoul National University, whatever the university name. Okay, then in applicant's form, full name, obviously your name, like full family name, given name, middle name. For Indian people, like for other countries, it's okay, they always have the family given and middle name, but for Indian people, most of them don't have, like given middle name, or some of them with no family name, like that. Just type whatever it is in your passport. Like in my passport, it is like this. So my father name is Muhammad Ali and my name is Sabreen Fatima. My given name is Sabreen Fatima. So yeah, I just write it like this. Just write however it is in your passport. Just write what is in your passport. Okay. And for country of citizenship, obviously your country of citizenship, just type Indian, um, whatever your country, like Pakistani, Indian, Korean, whatever your, obviously not Korean, so whatever your national Korean country of citizenship. And here comes, you must have to check this box. There are so many GK scholars who, like, not the GK scholar, the GK applicants who did this mistake is they forget to check this box. If you forget to check this box in application form while you fill, you can also after you print out, you can just check it out with the pen, but do check it out, don't miss it. So if you're applying for masters, just click it here. If you're applying for doctor, just click it here. If you're applying for research, click here, click this box. And this is the checklist you have to submit along with your, like, this checklist must be there. Some people who mistook, uh, like they didn't submit this checklist. It is compulsory, you have to submit this checklist, and you have to submit your documents based on this number, like form 1, form 2, form 3. This is the order you should submit your application form. Okay, in my next video, in my previous video I have already shared, but soon I will make another video how to arrange your forms. Okay, don't worry about that. But the first thing, application form, obviously 1 to 10 you must check all of them, because like for, like, if you're applying for masters, doctor, there are some exemptions, like application form obviously for all, check it. They have given required. Next, personal statement obviously for all. Study plan, it is for masters and doctoral program only. For research program you don't have to submit study plan, so here they have given, it means like you don't have to submit. And for research proposal, it's only applicable for research papers, research, the one who is going to apply for research. So if you are not going to apply for a research program, then don't click it, just leave it a blank. If your for form 1 and form 2 is compulsory for all, form 3 is compulsory for masters and doctoral program, so you have to check this. And form 4 is only applicable for research program students. If you are applying for research program, click it. If you are not, then leave it blank. And form 5 is compulsory for all, one set of recommendation letter from your professor, from your workplace. Okay, you have to submit it. And form 6 is letter of invitation. It is only applicable for research programs. Like if you have already got a letter of invitation from particular university stating that you are allowed, like you are accepted in our university, so for them this is, so if you already got in letter of invitation from the university for research program, click this for research program. Okay. Form 7, this is the new changes they have given, like until last year it was not included. Form 7, this year they gave Korean language program exemption only for current professor applicants, the one who is currently working as a professor and who are going to apply for relevant program for masters or doctoral program, not for the research, for masters and doctoral program, for them only it is exempted. Okay, the Korean language program. So obviously if you got a GK scholarship, you have to do compulsory 1 year language program if you don't have topic level 5 or 6. If you already have topic level 5 or 6, you are exempted. If you don't have, even if you have topic level 4 or 3 also, you have to go through topic 1 year Korean language program. And in between 1 year Korean language program, you got, like, you get topic exam and you secure topic level 5 or 6, you're exempted for the next month. You don't have to, like, let's say in within 6 months you got topic level 5 or 6, then you are exempted for the 6 month. Rest 6 month you don't have to do Korean language program. That is for all. But here they have newly added Korean language program exempted only for the current professor applicants who are applying for the master or doctoral program. If you are one of them, tick this, check this out. If you are not, it is relevant. Here they are given relevant applicant. If you are not, just leave it a blank. And form number 8 is GK's applicant agreement. Check it out. I will show you how to fill that. Then it's just you just have to say agree, agree, agree. Personal medical assessment, this is also just check it out. Consent to collect use personal information, check it out. Don't worry, they will not going to misuse your information data. And form 11, from form 11 is the most hardest part start. Everyone asks, what should I submit for applicants proof of citizenship, parents proof of residency? I have already told in my previous videos what is this. For applicant, if you have, obviously you must have passport. If you have passport, just submit the passport copy. And for parents, if they also have passport, just submit their passports photocopy. You don't have to do any postal if they have passport. If you don't have passport, then you have to submit yours or your parents voter ID for Indian applicants. And for other nationality, you must have their national ID card. So you have to apostille the photocopy of your national ID card and submit that. So this is the proof of citizenship. And for family relation document, mostly they have separate document, like in India, for other country they have family relation document, but in India in some places, like in my place also, we don't have family relation document. For that we ask NID, and they said in that place you can submit your birth certificate. And your birth certificate should state you, your father, your name, your father and mother name, and your relation, like your father is this person, your mother is this person, and you're this person. You can submit it. And this also be apostille. They have given what are the things must be apostille or consular confirmed. If your country is not one among the apostille one, then you can submit the consular confirmed one. I have already made a detailed video on what are these documents in my previous video. Please do check it out. And for this you have to check. And for bachelor degree, obviously bachelor's, graduation certificate or diploma. And for this, many ask me, I don't have my bachelor degree yet, I'm in sixth semester, fifth semester, I will get my bachelor degree soon, so can I apply? Obviously you can apply if you get your degree certificate, your transcript before July 31st. This is what it is in mentioned in guidelines. If you get your degree certificate and transcript before July 31st, it's not like you get on 30 July 30, you can just send. No, you have to get before, like they say July 31st. It, I would say, if you get it before June, it would be good, because you have to do a postal again on those, the degree certificate and your transcript, and you have to send to a NID. After, if you get a scholarship, they will give you extend like the deadline, and within the deadline you have to submit your degree certificate. And for those who have already got your graduation certificate or diploma certificate, you can submit just it is, I mean, postal one, check this on. And transcript, obviously, yes. If you are applying for master's degree, this is applicable for you, like number 12 and this 12. And for, if you are applying for doctoral program, for them this is applicable. Master's, graduation degree certificate, master transcript, it is same what I said. For them it is, for masters it is not required. For doctoral and research program, this is. If you are applying for masters, just leave them blank. If you are applying for masters, rest is no, not for you guys. And same, if you are applying for research program, then you have to submit your doctoral graduate certificate and your transcript. And certificate of employment, form number 5, certificate of employment is not what you like. Many ask me, okay, so we have certificate of employment, do we have to submit under form 15? No, it is only applicable for professionals under research program. If you got if you have some professional employment certificate under research program, it is only for them. Look, they have given for masters, for doctoral it is not applicable, it is only applicable for research programs. So if you are one of them, just take it out. For the rest, just leave blank. It is for proof of overseas Korean documents, it is applicable for the one who is this, as it is says optional. If you are one among them, like form 16, 17, 18 is proof of Korean citizenship unique. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I don't know why I'm just stuttering. Okay, proof of Korean citizenship renunciation document. These are like from form 15, 16, 17. If you are one of them, check it out. If you are not, just leave it rest. And certificate of employment or working experience, here also it's only applicable for faculty members of international organization partner university. If you are one among them, then check this out and submit your certificate of employment or working experience certificate under form 19. If you're not, if you're just someone who have work experience under some office, some other places, just submit your work experience under, I will show you down, not here. So I hope you understand so far. And other documents, you have to submit the employment certificate in other documents. So until form 19, it's really compulsory. You have to be careful of what to do, and these are the things you have to do apostille and consular confirm. And the next form number 20, score report of topic, TOEIC, IELTS. If you have English proficiency, Korean proficiency, it is obviously they say it's optional. I would suggest if you have topic levels at least level 1 or 2, or IELTS if you're applying for English program. If you have somewhat English proficiency, you will stand a chance of winning, because they from last year they said the one who have topic or IELTS or English proficiency or Korean proficiency, they will get extra marks for that. So I would suggest, even if you don't have also, it's fine to apply. If your rest of the documents, rest of the profile is strong, you will win. But I would suggest if you have topic or IELTS, do submit them. And for the deadline, like topic or IELTS course deadline is, it should be within 2 years. If your IELTS, if you have given IELTS into 2024 or 2023, see the dates. If it's still under 2 years, you can submit that. And obviously if you are submitting one of these documents, check this out, I have submitted both. Then awards and other certificates, here in this it's just copy, you don't have to do any apostille or notarized, no need, just photocopy is sufficient. And under awards and certificates, you can submit all of your extracurricular certificates, your work experience certificates, and every documents which shows like you have leadership qualities, you have done some online courses, all of these documents should be submitted here under 20. Let's say you have 10 certificates, extracurricular work experience, some your achievements from workplace or your undergraduate master's place, or your online courses, all of them you have 10 to 15 documents. Name all of them 21. Don't say 21, 22, 23. No, 21, 22 is your passport copy, so don't do that. If you have 10, just name it as 21, 21, 21, all 10 documents. Even here also, when you submit your, look, this says 12, 12, like you are submitting your bachelor's graduation certificate and transcript. Don't say 12 and 13, that is wrong. Just write is 12 or 12 the slash ornament, sorry, 12.1 like this. And here also 13, 13. If you are submitting your master's graduation certificate and degree, then just name it as 13, 13.1, or how it is. Don't make it as like 13, 14 like this. 14 is this documents. If you name master's degree transcript as 14, that is that will be a mistake. So you are just inviting your loss, because all these are small things. And I did do look at that, I did somewhat similar like this mistake. When I applied first time, I forgot to stick my photo, obviously. Then later I again sent my application again, but still I got rejected, because they said you are not a detail oriented person, you just make small mistakes. So obviously I hope you understand. And yeah, 21, 22 is applicant's passport copy. And some of them ask me like where should I put my passport copy, because in here also they ask to submit our applicant's proof of citizenship. It's okay if you submit your passport copy under 11, it's not necessary to submit here because it's optional. If you're not submitting under 11, you can submit in 21. What I did is, in my 11 I submitted my parents proof of citizenship and my birth certificate, and under 21 I submitted my passport copy. So it's fine, you don't have to submit two photocopies of your passport, it's just one. You can submit either in number 21 or number 11, only for passport copy, not other things. Sorry, number 22. And here also you have to submit a check whatever you are submitting. Okay, let's fill the application form. Sorry guys, this video is gonna be long because I'm going to tell you guys in detail what are the things to be filled. So first is, if you're applying for embassy track, check this out. And under embassy track, which track you're going, general track, overseas Korean, international reconstruction talent, or whatever your is, just check it out. And you have to select only one program. It's not like I will check general and overseas Korean or this. No, you have to check only one. So for this application form, I'm filling university track, and under university track you have this, select one program, and this is for international organization program. Okay, this is for general one and this is for international organization program. If you are applying for this program, check under this. There is general or RGKs or R&D. R&D is nothing but research and development. Don't get confused with RGKs and R&D. RGKs is regional GKs and R&D is research and development. So we are going to apply for RGKs, okay? And there is no like difference, but if you are applying for type A university under university track, you have to check general, because RGK is only for type B universities. If you are applying for type B only, you can either apply under general or RGKs. But if you are applying for type A, you can only choose general. And if you are applying for R&D programs or research program, check that one. And only you have to select one program, not more than that. If you do that, your application form will be disqualified. Okay. And next is what program you are going to apply. Obviously, if you are applying for master's program, check this out. Doctor program, research program, what is your program? I'm applying for master's. And your desired field of study. Okay, this one is, don't get confused. If you under this, we saw here, if you download these university informations, whatever the university you are applying for, this is the Kyungsei universities. If you open this, you will have this field of divisions. Here it's mentioned like this program is under humanities, this program is under social science, this is under natural science, so and so. So you check there and fill this. So mine was social science as I applied for global MBA. If you're not sure, you can also check in the PDF under the along with this university information, they have given the PDF version. If you open the one, let's say if you open the Kyongsung University, like whatever the university, you will have three files like PDF and the department information and contact information. If you go under here, you will see this is the university thing. First they will be having Korean. If you know Korean, you can read. If not, don't worry, you will have in English also if you go scroll down. So these are the things, like you can check it out, what are the facilities available in particular university, what is their deadline, they have given what are the deadlines for the university, everything. So here you can check, look, department, their majors, and in what they are going to teach, like a fully 100% Korean or 100% English, whatever, so and so. So they have also mentioned like what is necessary for topic 3. This is like, it's not like you must have topic 3 before application. It's for when you start your major. So let's say if you have topic level 1 or 2, you apply and you got GK scholarship, and you have to go through 1 year language program, and within this you scale topic level 3 or above, then only you can continue your major, your master's, doctoral program, and so on. If not, you can continue, and NID will give you extra 6 months to study Korean language program and achieve the topic level 3 or 4, whatever your department desire. Like in law field, they want topic level 4 or more, but other they want topic level 3. But they will not fully give you scholarship for those extra 6 months. So it's necessary to get your topic level 3 or 4, whatever your desire requirement, before you start your major, so that you don't have to any hassle. It's a small import. Oh, okay. So I was talking about, look, in natural science, this is the under natural science. These are the departments. These are the majors they have, and in medium of instruction, so and so. If you see this, you will find it. So here you have to choose this. Okay, so mine is social science. So whatever what is yours, just fill that, and from here you have to fill your application form. It starts. So for full name, obviously, as I said, you have to fill your name how is it is in your passport, your family name, your given name, your middle name. If you don't have middle name, it's fine, but you must give your family name and your given name. Like my family name is Muhammad Ali and my given name is Sabrin Fatima. And you look here, they have given it should be how it is in your passport or official documents. Let me fill it for you guys. Okay, so if you have middle name, you can just type it. And for date of birth, you have to type your date of birth. What is your date of birth? XXX. And for your gender, if you're male, uh, click that. If you're female, click that. And for photo, you can either stick your photo here. If not, you can print it out your form, application form, and then stick your photo. It should be this size. Okay. And for country of citizenship, Indian. Oh, sorry. And if you are a Korean citizenship, then check yes. If not, no. Obviously, I'm not a Korean citizenship. Check no. And if your parents, applicants' parents are Korean, there are some like for people whose parents are either mom or dad is Korean, click yes. If not, just check no. Current or previous GK scholar. If you are currently studying as a GK scholar or previous your ex GK scholar, click that. If not, no. Okay, then your address, obviously your address where you live in India, in your home country, your address, your phone number here, your with country code. If you are from India, 91, and your rest of the phone number if you are from your country, and your email address. It's necessary to fill this on because they will contact you with your email address, and it's really necessary for to fill these things. And choice of university and department. Here, be careful. If you're applying for embassy track, check this out. And choice of your university. As I said in my previous videos, for embassy track people, you have three options. You can select three universities under embassy track. But the choice one should be type B university. You can find this in guidelines. What are the type A universities? What are the type B universities? So on. So whatever you choose, type it should be. It's compulsory for choice 2 and choice 3. You can select type A university or type B, but for choice 1, it should be type B university. Okay, and here is your field of study. As I said, mine was social science. If you are liberal arts, humanities, whatever it is, for department you have to fill. In my here I showed in this PDF in department like pharmacy department, fashion design department, chemistry department, business administration department, global business department. So mine was global business. You can just fill this out. Here my department is global business, and for field of study is social science. You can change this color. I'm just typing as to show you guys. So whatever your choice of universities and major, it's optional, but if your university is stated, you can write this is the major. For my major, this they have given this or the major we will get in this. If you want, you can write something else from your the university website and so, but it should be in that university. It's not like your own choice. So you have to fill this. If you're applying for university track, same, type B or type A university, type your university name, then your field of department, and sorry, field of study, field of department, and your majors. For this, Let me just copy from here. I will just, that's it. Okay, you can adjust the adjustments. So this is how you fill the university details. And language ability, as a, if you have given, if you check in the checklist that you have topic or IELTS, then you have to fill. If you have topic level, whatever your topic is, like level 1 2 3 4 5, whatever your level is like, just check them out. What is your level? If you're level 3, you don't have to check all of them, just check this one. If you're level 2, just check this one, whatever your level is. And here you have to write the date you gave the exam, like date, month, year, and which topic exam, like 98, 97th, 90th, 91st, what is your topic date. And if you have given topic IELTS or TOEFL or TOEIC, whatever it is, just check it out. I give IELTS, and what is your IELTS score, like 7, 7.5, 5.5, 6, whatever it is, just check them out. And if you have only IELTS, not topic, just leave this blank and put that. If you have both, just fill this thing. And for level of education, here you have to give your previous education details, like high school details, which school, your school name, then your location of the school, like if it's in India, where it is, that's detail. And your year of graduation, when you completed your high school. Then your bachelor degree, if you're applying for masters, you have to fill this thing, like where you studied your undergraduate, the university name, the location, uh, then major, what you studied. I studied BCom General, like this. If you studied BSc, whatever you studied, your major, that, and your graduation date. Yeah, some of the people ask me, in my degree certificate, only year and month is mentioned, date is not mentioned. It's okay if date is not mentioned, just put 101, because here you have to fill just one. Let's say you're completed in 2019, month is 11, and date is, you don't know the date. If you have in your degree certificate, if it's mentioned, just fill that. If you don't, just put it here, and they will understand, because in your degree certificate it should be same, the year and month. Some ask me, just year is mentioned, date is not there, month, it should be month. In guidelines it says like everything should be there, but at least year, month, or year should be there. Year or month should be there at least. So this, okay, let's move on. If you this is degree thesis. If under undergraduate program, if you have write any thesis paper, obviously most of them have, but some universities don't have thesis paper. If you have done, write your thesis topic, like title, what you did, like I did impact of GST on consumers. This was my topic in my undergraduate, so I write that. And if you have published any published books or research papers, you can write it here. So yeah, that's it. If you are applying for doctoral program or second master's program, you can fill your ex master's degree detail, or your master's degree detail, same, university name, your location, what major you did, like MCom, M, whatever your it is, and your graduation date. Here also same, if your degree certificate have only year and month, you can just fill that. If at least it should have year or month. Date, if it's not there, it's fine. If it's there, just fill it out. And your degree thesis, your published papers or research papers, books, so on. If you're applying for research program, then you have to fill your doctoral details, same things, university name, location, your major, what you did your in your doctoral program, when did you graduated, your title, like your dissertation title, your published books, research papers, so on. So it's same for everything. Here comes the most important field. everyone got confused. Let me clarify, let me tell in short. This is the thing, like obviously every country doesn't have a GPA on 4 scale, 5 scale. If you have, just fill it here. Most of them have CGPA on 20 scale, 7 scale, 10 scale, 6 scale, like this. If your university is also like that, just fill it out how much you got. Like my university have 10 scale, so out of 10 scale how much you scored? Out of 10 scale I scored 9, out of 10 scale I scored 8, out of 10 scale I scored this. So you have to fill this how it is in your transcript, and it should be your overall GPA, like CGPA, your 6 semesters, your 5 semesters, your 12 semester, how many semesters you studied, that whole average CGPA it should be there. So mine was like out of 10, it was like 7.9 out of 10. And when you convert your GPA, like if your university have converted your CGPA to GPA on this scale, it should be on this scale 4, 4.3, 4.55, or only 100%. If your university provide only on 100% scale, you can fill out on out of 100 how much is your score. If they gave on 4 scale, 5 scale, you can fill. If your university is not giving 4 scale conversion, then you can either convert and get authenticated it, or else use the Scholaro and find how much you scored. If you in Scholaro you score like 3.7 on out of 4, 3 point this out of this, you can just fill it out here. So that is the thing. And if you got out of percentage, like let's say your percentage is 89 out of 100, this is not mine, I'm just giving it for example. Or else you can just fill if you have percentage, because my university doesn't have percentage scale. If not, you can just give like for out of 4 scale your point is like 3.47 out of 4 from your university or from Scholaro, whatever it is, fill this out. Okay. And for the score percentile, if you don't mention it here, just erase all these example things. You don't have to do this, and change the color. I'm giving for example, I'm not changing these colors, but you guys do change and it is all those examples. This is not mine, I'm just giving you for example. Okay. And out of 100 point scale, how much your, if your university give you 100-point scale, how much is your percentage, you can write that. If not, you can just see the GK appendix, they have given GPA conversion in guidelines. There you can check what is your percentage. Let me show you. If you see this GKS appendix scale here, let me zoom it. If you score among any of this, like on 4 scale, if your score is between this, if your score is like, let's say your 3.5 or 3.15 to 3.20, like falls under this, then your percentage is 86 percentage. Just fill that. Mine was like fall between this, so my percentage was 85 percentage. um, so I filled here as 85 percentage, because if I convert my um, this thing into percentage, it comes different. So in that case, and also my university doesn't have percentage scale, so what I did is, this is how everyone do, because we confirm it with NID, so this is how everyone do. So this scale, you converted from Scholaro or from your university, so and so, but you have to submit with authentication. Just check this. Let's say your scale is 3.74, and for 3.74 you fall under this, so your percentage is 94. In that case, you fill 94 percentage here. Okay. So you are filling the requirement. Some people said, uh, some people ask me like, my percentage is really low, how can I apply? And like I get their original percentage is below 80. So according to GKS, you can't apply if you have less than 80 GPA or 2.64 on 4 scale. But when you convert in Scholaro and when you see according to this appendix, obviously you will pass because mine is also like 7.9 as per India percentage system. I think it's below 80. So when I converted on Scholaro, it was more than 3, and on school percentage according to GKS, it was 85 percentage. So yeah, I was eligible. So you can try to, don't mistake that. And this also, some of my friends ask me like, what is this or how to fill this? If your university transcript have GPA per semester, like each wise, like semester 1, semester 2, on your scale, like whatever the scale is, 20 scale, 10 scale, 7 scale, whatever it is, if your transcript have that, then fill this. If your transcript doesn't have, then leave it. And for people who is in level sorry, semester 5, and your semester 6 is not yet done, or semester 6 you are waiting for your semester 6 transcript, like that, you can fill this out. Like first year, first semester this much out of this scale, second semester, third semester, like this, and leave the rest. If you need more years, like some people have 5 years undergraduate, so you can just add it here, like fifth year, semester 1, semester 2, like this you can. But it's not compulsory. Like if your university transcript doesn't have GPA, like each semester GPA wise, you can just leave it. If your academic transcript only indicates CGPA and does not provide GPA per semester, then you may leave this table. They have indicated that. This is what I did because my university doesn't give me GPA for each semester. They gave me transcript for overall 6 semester. So this is what I got in average. So you can just leave it if your university doesn't have that. It's not that big thing. And yeah, this is for the one who have received scholarship from Korean government, like not for GKS, like under for major undergraduate or bachelor, like this. For them the scholarship is not like from this year. If you are ex GKS scholar, you can't apply for this GKS program, like that. But if you have got GKS scholarship for non-degree program, they have given example like this for exchange program, like that. If you have got from NID, like your ex GKS scholar, for this type of program, you can just fill who sponsored, or you got any scholarship or any institution from Korean government or Korean institution from Korea, not from your like your country, from here. You can just tell them like who is the sponsor, what is the name of the scholarship, and this like if you have got a POSCO TJ scholarship, you can just name that here, POSCO TJ scholarship, and for what program, like Korean program or exchange program, like that, and from what period to what period, you can just fill that. If you're not, if you don't have anything, you can just leave it rest. And previous visit, if you have been to Korea and or lived in Korea for any like for language program or for work purpose or just tourist purpose, like that, you can just tell that. Like if someone sponsored you for like for work purpose or something, you can just fill it here. Let's say you came to Korea for language exchange or exchange program, you can fill from what period to what period, then what like Korean for what program, and which city, like Seoul, Busan, they go where, and which organization, if you work in some company or some university, uh, like studied in some university, like that, and under what visa. Okay, this if you haven't anything, just delete all these things. You can leave it too, but I would suggest just delete all of these things and leave it blank, because if you leave it like this, it might cause think that you have filled that. Just leave it rest, so leave it blank. And here you have to fill the date, year, month when you are filling the form, or when you are going to apply for the, like when you are going to send your documents. So it should be between the guidelines announced to the deadline. It should be under this time, date, year, and your applicant's full name as per your passport. Let's say I'm filling here year 2025, month 1, and date let's just say 28. It should be between the deadline. And my name, how it is in my passport. Okay, and your signature here. um, don't put any digital signature here. You have to print out your application form, and after that you have to do a signature with pen. You don't do digital signature, that's not allowed. And so this is form 5 until here, and rest it's easy. Just personal statement, obviously you guys have already prepared your personal statement and SOP. Just copy paste it under this box, and I have already made video on what are the things to be added in your PSN SOP. Do what's them. So it should be all of this points should be there, like your motivation to apply for this program, motivation to apply in South Korea, and your ex educational background, like your undergraduate, your graduate, your doctoral research program, whatever it is. So you have to write about that significant experience you have had, like what are the work experience or what are the experience you have, what are the pros and cons you faced, and how you overcome from them. And person who like you influence you, or the thing which influence you to study this program or apply for this program, so and so. You have to like just, I made video on that, you can watch that and make this essay, personal statement SOP, and fill in this box. They gave only one box, it's not compulsory to, you have to like fill it this one page. You can write up to 3 pages they have given. So up to 3 pages you can write. It should not exceed 3 pages, your personal statement and your recipe. And here also may write the date 2025, all the dates should be same. And 28 I write the date this, and my name, and your signature should be done after you print out your form. And same study plan form number 3, same, write up to 3 pages. Just copy paste your essays which you have filled. And do remember, the size should be 11 and the font should be New Roman. If you are writing your essay in Korean, then it should be 파당체 아니면 토동체. Okay, it should be either these two fonts. You can download in your laptop or computer. If not, just use Times New Roman and 11. It should be 11 point. It should not exceed this font size. They will do check that. You have to write your language study plan, goal of study plan, future plans after your study, etc. I have made a detailed video on this, you can watch that. Same again, your date, your name, and signature after you fill out your application form, print out your application form. And this research proposal is only for the people who applying for research program. So you have to write your research proposals, like your research topic, your objectives, your detailed research plan, your methodologies, so on and so forth. So you have to fill. And same, the font should be Times New Roman or Korean this, 11 point should be the size. And you can write up to 3 pages. Do remember that. And yeah, you can delete these instructions when you fill that. Like once you read this, you can just delete this box. If you are filling this, you can just delete this box, and you can adjust this um, box, like you can adjust that. I'm not going to show that, obviously you know that. You can adjust that. And same things for form 5. Many ask me how to fill form 5. Look, for form 5, only this thing you have to fill. The rest is your teacher should be right. So for here, you have to write your full name. You have to fill this. You have to fill this, and the program you're applying for, master's, doctoral research, and your intended major. Mine was global MBA. And that's it. You just have to fill these things and send this in electronic version to your professor, and let them fill all these details and they will write. Okay, your recommenders name, they will fill that, your affiliated institution, your teachers, like your professor's position or title, like are they professor, assistant professor, associate professor, whatever it is, their email address, their phone number, and recommendation letter they should write here. And from last year they gave this form. Before that, people used to submit recommendation letter in a letterhead from university. In case if your university give LOR in a letterhead of your university, you can submit that too, but along with this form the teacher has to sign and date it, this, and if they want they can do the like seal also. So what I did is, like, when I applied second time, I submitted the letterhead from LOR from the university's letterhead, and this submitted. But this time I tell my professor to write the LOR in this page. So they have given the instructions for the professors to what to do, how to write, and what are the things to do. So tell your professor to write LOR, like about good things about you, what you did, what you studied, how you perform, how you did well in your undergraduate year, masters, etc. You can also get LOR from your workplace also, how you did so and so. Your professor should sign. They have to print this out. Look, they have to print. If you're applying for the embassy track, they have to print this form in four copies. Like you have to submit four set, so four copies, and have to sign in four copies. It's not like one copy she has to sign and photocopy that. No, she has to take four copies for embassy track. I'm telling four copies. Then she has to sign in each LOR and put it in envelope. It can be either one envelope, it can be either in four envelope, like four envelope, four LORs, or just one envelope and four envelope LORs in one envelope copy. It can be that, and it should be sealed and signature from your teacher. It should be sealed. I will tell you in detail in my next video how to do that, like how to tell your professor to do that. And if you're applying for a university track, you just have to submit one set of copies. So tell your professor to print it out, no electronic signature, print it out, and then sign and seal. She has to seal of the university seal and the signature. Do remember that. Do tell your professor to do this. And letter of invitation, as I said, it's only for research program, so you have to fill all these things. So for the rest, and if you're not filling this thing, you don't have to print it out, you just delete this and just take this off. Whatever the things, like for research proposal also, if you're not submitting that, if you're not one who applying for research program, you can just exclude these forms. It's okay. And this is the new form they included this time. As I said, it's only for the one who is currently a professor in university and going to study for masters or doctor program. In here they have given this form is for applicants who are current university professor applying to department that offers 100% English in track. It's not for the one who is going to study 100% Korean or 50% Korean, 70% Korean plus English. It's for the one who is applying for the master's or doctorate program whose medium of instruction is in English. For them, and they don't have to go through Korean language program, so they can fill this form. Just their name, nationality, their final degree which they did, their current affiliation, current position, like in what position they are currently working, and other these. Mm, and their choice of university they want to study, their department, and so on. If the university has the medium of instruction is English, then check this out. If not, just exclude this form. And yeah, same things. And here it's just you have to check this. You can just read it. You have to check. Don't forget to uncheck any. Don't forget to uncheck any box. You have to check it out. It's just simple things. You can just study. See this. Just check it out. Everything, every box. Don't forget. If you miss any box, you can check it with pen later when you found. Do thoroughly check once you fill all the form, before printing and after printing also, before sending your documents to the NID or the university, embassy or university. do check them out if you make any silly mistake, because silly mistake also make you give less points. And here also your date, your full name, signature after you printed out the form. And form number 5, this is also same, like if you have any diseases like riskable diseases, yes, just check it out, and if yes, explain what is this. If not, just check it out, no. You have any allergies, and you have type tensions, diabetes, all this, just read them out. As the video is getting long, I'm not reading out because obviously you guys can read this. If you have any serious illness, any serious surgery, allergies, any something, you're taking any medications, medicines, anything, you can say S and explain what are those things. Okay, if not, just fill it out, no, 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 check it out, no, no. Then your like date, application name, same. Consult to collect and use your personal information, don't worry, they are not going to misuse it. Just check, agree, yeah, agree, and yeah, same your date. It should be same date what you filled, don't change your date. 28 we fill this, then name, and signature should be done after you print out the application form. So yeah, that's it guys, this is the application form, how you fill. I'm sorry, because of personal reasons I didn't fill the form because I can't show my personal things, but I do uh, fill some of the things. So yeah, if you have any doubt in application form how to fill, you can ask me in my comment section, or you can just text me in Instagram. I might reply you late because I'm also busy here in studying. So but yeah, I will do reply all of your messages, don't worry. Or you can ask any other GK scholars if you have no, so you can ask them also. So this is how you have to fill the application form, and I will stop the video because it got long, but I want to tell you guys in detail how to do everything. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video, and thank you so much for subscribing my channel. And please do subscribe my channel, do like, if you like it, do share it to others who are going to apply for GKS 2025. If you need any, like if you want me to make a video on some important things on GKS or any other thing, do let me know in my comment section. Okay, let you see you in my next video. 안녕하세요.